Warning, this podcast is intended for consenting adults. We're talking about all things non-monogamy, which means some of our conversations are going to get down and dirty. Please know we are not professionals, and these are strictly our views and opinions and in no way represent the opinions of our employers. We respect others' opinions as we know everyone in the world of non-monogamy does it differently. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome to another episode of 3 Shades Deeper. My name is Anthony Grayman, and as always, I'm joined by my beautiful wife.
Hello, everybody.
Tell everybody your name.
Pinky.
Hi, Pinky. How are you?
I'm doing excellent.
Good. And my beautiful, salacious girlfriend.
Ava Moore.
How are you ladies doing?
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
That's good. Always happy to hear. And so... we've done a few episodes of this 3 Shades Deeper, and think it's going good. What do you ladies think?
Oh yeah, we're going deeper than I ever thought we would.
Yeah, we definitely like to go. The topics that we talk about are things that we've talked about before, but it's always good to kind of delve a little bit deeper and get somebody who has a little bit more experience and is a little bit more versed, and also provide a different perspective, because we're talking amongst the three of us. It's kind of like a little bit of an echo chamber, and it's like, I know this, and we're all making each other feel good. But sometimes it's good to bring in somebody from the outside that will
Shake it up
and give us a different perspective. And the topic for that perspective in this episode is BDSM.
Woohoo! One of my
Yes.
favorite things.
Well, at least 67 and a 2/3% of us actually is very happy for this episode.
I am happy that I'm not a part of it.
Yes, you're happy that you're not a part of it.
I am, actually.
But there are portions of BDSM
I do,
that
yeah.
you enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think there are a lot of people out there that have misconceptions about what BDSM is. Like, for instance, you ask, some people, hey, do you like your ass smacked? And
Yes.
like, yes, I do. It's like, okay, you like impact play. Okay, that's nothing wrong. That's BDSM-ish or what have you. So it all depends. But we have somebody here who has quite some experience in the world of BDSM, and he goes by the name of Sir Sublime. And without further ado, we'd like to introduce Sir Sublime. How are you, sir?
Doing pretty good today.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, very much. So happy to
This
have
was
you
a
here.
long time coming.
Yeah, yes. Long time coming. And definitely, I think we made impressions upon each other, all of us, when you attended our holiday party.
Yeah.
Which I think was maybe not your first, but maybe a handful of your only sex positive events that you've attended.
It was like second or third, yeah.
Second or third. Okay. And what did you think?
It was a good time. I had a real good time with that.
I had a real good time with that too.
I had
I
a
know.
really good time because I was high, sleeping
Listen,
in my beautiful room.
while you were snoozing, okay, I've discussed the flogging of a lifetime that I got, and it was delivered by Sir Sublime. So people on our podcast have heard about that flogging a few times at this point. So now they get to know the man who delivered that flogging.
Do you mean, does it mean that you want more?
Ava always wants more.
Well, before we get into all of those salacious details, if you would, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Number one, how long you've been into the BDSM world, and I guess we are more of a non-monogamy podcast, or maybe just give us a background if you consider yourself non-monogamous or not, or what have you. I'll give you the floor, and you can introduce yourself.
All right, I'll give this my best shot.
Okay.
I'm worst critic in the end. So yeah, it's Sir Sublime. It's been about 15 years I've been in the lifestyle publicly. Let's see, I've done, whew, trying to, I've done a lot of stuff in the end, so I'm trying to remember it all. I've been on a bit of a hiatus for a few years,
Mm-hmm.
just relationship and kind of life, pandemic,
Life,
everything.
yeah.
Kind of threw a monkey wrench in my life, but I'm kind of getting back into and doing stuff. I mean, foremost, I'd say I'm a kink toy maker.
Okay.
That's like kind of my fun part-time hobby. Really, what brought me into the like BDSM scene was rope.
Okay.
Ooh.
That was pretty much even before I really went to my own first party. I taught myself how to self-suspend, and I wanted to make sure I had all the ins and outs and the safety and everything before I went out and started really playing with other people.
So you started with yourself first.
Yeah,
Wow. Interesting.
I figured I'd be responsible when it came to
That
that.
does sound very responsible.
Yeah, I mean, I did groundwork with other people, but like
Uh-huh.
before I really started getting out and going to clubs, it was one of those. I want to learn how to suspend, and I guess it was kind of like, hey, look at me, look, I can do stuff. I was kind of new,
Uh-huh.
just kind of starting to meet everybody. So I was like, at least show a skill. So
Bring
I have-
something to the table.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like I'm just sitting there voyeuring and watching everybody play. So I was like,
Sure.
let me do something. And then for the most part, I got an impact, but that was way later for probably years. It was just teaching rope. I was doing suspensions for people. I was a house rigger for a local club, and it's been an interesting long journey.
What led you to start with self-suspension?
Oh, just to understand, I'm a firm believer of, say whatever toy you pick up or anything like that, you should be hit with it so that you know what you're dealing to somebody. So if I was going to suspend, I want to know how it feels and is it comfortable? If there's something I can adjust, is it I'll know myself quicker than getting feedback from somebody.
Okay. Well,
But
and
it's pretty much the same way as like if I were to put anybody else up, same exact process, just a bit harder because you're tying yourself, so the knots have to be in certain locations so you can get yourself back out.
okay.
I would think that would be
Yeah.
a lot harder. I don't know.
Yeah, I would too. It's yes, definitely agree that you don't do something to somebody unless has it been done to you or what have you. Case in
Yeah.
point I can think of was speaking with Ava was electroplay.
Yep.
I still have a cattle prod, and I tried it on myself. And because I tried it on myself, I figured, well, let me try it on Ava.
And he knows what I like. So he thought it was something I would enjoy.
Mm-hmm. And did you enjoy it?
Not at all.
Oh, well, yeah. And I picked up on that very, very quickly. So speaking of like rules and different things, which is kind of where we're trying to get a little bit deeper with you. And we're saying rules, but I think these are guidelines because everybody does this differently. The way that you do certain things may not always be the same way that everybody else does. Am I correct by saying that?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, but just in having the experience of watching you in a scene and the way you control it and making sure everything was there and all those kind of things, those are best practices, I would say. So that's kind of what we're going to talk to you about, or best practices in BDSM.
There's almost an etiquette to BDSM within
Yeah.
the community
Oh yeah.
that people have to follow.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, it's changing. You can say over the years. There was that kind of like old guard style,
Mhm.
and now there's something that's totally grown out of that. That it's its own. So it's kind of everybody kinks their own way. I like to look at it.
Sure.
More of being used to a kind of everything was based off of high protocol.
Yeah. I mean that old guard.
That old
leather-
guard,
Yeah.
yes. And in your experience, if you can share with our audience, like what would be considered high protocol behavior, or do you participate? Actually, I should ask: do you participate in high protocol activities?
Oh no, I'm a lazy top.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, like high protocol. Like I can do some of it. Just really wasn't for me. I want to get into it and learn from more people down the road, but Just I'm like chaos when it comes to scenes. But I'm a switch now. Like I was just strictly a top, and then over the years, I was like, oh, see what it's like to bottom, and I'll tell you what the things I learned on that end. Things that you were like, oh, you wouldn't hold yourself accountable. Or like, okay, you prime one is like, say you promise, oh, we're gonna play, and then so you want to play. So I'm tapping here. Um, if you want to play with somebody and like you made the promise, and that's just something comes up that night, and now you didn't play. Well, the bottom, they were kind of looking forward to it all day, and it kind of really it breaks their heart in the end. And when I was a top, it was like, oh, like I get it, but things get busy. It doesn't matter as much. And like from the bottom end, kind of being on that side, and it's like, oh yeah, no, that really like that stings. Like that's not cool.
No, yeah, you learn what it is. You have to have that experience, which I think if it's almost like when you're kids, like if you can't deal with it, don't dish it out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to go back a little bit in terms of how do you actually do this? Like, for example, you met somebody new, and tell us the process of how do you actually work through it. And I know you said you don't have a sequence of whatever, but I'm sure in your head you have some kind of a outline, right?
What are we talking about? Like pickup play?
Whatever.
I guess scenarios. Like I'm
Yes.
going to a club and meet you or
How you negotiate.
like
Yeah.
how the negotiation process. So yeah, there's definitely a set of rules that you got to go through. It's negotiation, asking health issue. Obviously it's that's still sensitive, but I need to know as a top so that okay, like say you're on blood thinners or something, I want to know so that I don't draw blood on you and then we have an issue of getting it under control. You want to make sure you can keep people safe. Like I'm not a SSC person. I'm more of a rack. The risk aware kink.
And what's the other one? So
Safe, sane, consensual.
yes, so rack is risk aware, consensual
Kink.
kink. So
And the
you
other one was what?
The
Safe,
other
safe, sane, and consensual.
Okay.
And what's
SSC.
the difference?
But I kind of look at it like nothing's real. Like it can be safe, it can be consensual, but is it really truly sane what we're really doing?
Oh, I see.
So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's more risk aware. Like we know we negotiate and things. I like to state of like we script, like not script out, but you're like, okay, I have this premise. Anything you don't like, any pure reds or anything like that. So you're aware, you don't want to violate somebody's consent.
Right.
That's the number one thing at the end of the day. You want everybody to have a really good time. And for me, I like the exchange of energy, like it's a dance.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to make sure everybody has a good time at the end.
Yeah, you want a repeat performance, so to speak.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's like, hey, I had such a great time with this person. I want to do it again. Like when can we plan our next scene to have that happen?
Yeah, exactly. Like suspensions when I do that, like when I was the house rigger for the local club, I'm like a really good one trick pony. So I call it the hammock, and it's the most comfortable suspension you can do. Like I've done it a few times when I would work the floor at Jersey Exotica. So and I suspend hundreds of people a day.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
insane.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, and I'd have them up and down in like 20, 30 minutes. But I would give them X amount of time to just enjoy, and then bring them down because you had the whole process of tying and getting everything set and harnesses and making sure everything's good. But you always leaving them wanting a little bit more. Like, oh, I could have stayed there for a couple more minutes. Like, yeah, but you'll enjoy
Next
it the next
time.
time. Exactly. We can try something different next time.
We've talked on kind of different types of behaviors, or sort of, if you want to say, protocols to SSC or rack, and you don't necessarily have a protocol. You have your own protocol that you've developed over the years, how you approach a play partner, another bottom, or what have you.
No, I'd say it's pretty much standard for everybody. How the process. You'll reach out to somebody. Hey, I really like what you do. You may usually this is more pickup play, which I like to do. I mean, say like you meet somebody online and you talk. That one I feel is a little harder to hash out the negotiations because you've never seen this person play. Like if you're at a club, and that's why it's always best to get in your community. then you at least seen the person play. You know their reputation. You know they're already safe, because if you're a consent violator, you're already, you're not coming to another party if you get in trouble.
No.
So, in the end, it's better to look there. So and that's kind of like the standard for a party. Like you go through, you talk, is there anything like that? Any reds? You always just do, the like green, yellow, red as the safe words. Don't, it's not Worcestershire sauce or
Not
whatever.
flour
Don't be
versus flour.
creative.
Yeah, exactly. Things like that. And then you play, and then you keep to what you agreed to. So, I like impact. I like this. I like that. Oh, I seen you.
So you can't bring out the fire when you.
I mean, if it's negotiated, sure. You can electrocute them. You can hang them from pallet wrap, whatever you want to do. It's just as long as it's consensual.
All these things, my brain is like spinning out of control over here. They all sound so appealing.
I know, but patience. We're going to
Sorry.
get through this interview.
I know.
All I want to do just climb in the corner and sit.
And watch. It'll be fine. We don't mind voyeurs.
Oh, I like
I don't
being
know.
watched.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Like, I'm curious to ask, like, there is a test that my hubby took and I about putting you in a bracket of where you are in terms of your kink and BDSM kind of component
Okay,
or
yeah.
whatever. I don't know. What is it called, hubby? Do you remember?
I'm not sure. It's one of these.
So the BDSM test
yeah.
org
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Have you ever taken anything?
Oh, yeah. I
And
took
what,
that years
what
ago.
was it like for percentile for you? Because there's, I believe, like there's 4
don't-
criterias.
I can't remember. I mean, it's been like years since I've
So
done
how
it.
would you call yourself? Like, and if somebody would
Oh, I mean, if
describe
I had to
yourself.
identify as anything, polyamorous, top leaning switch.
Okay. Are you on a pleasure dom or
Sadistic.
sadistic
I'm
kind of?
both.
Okay.
Like I'll beat the hell out of somebody. I love it as long as it's I mean, yeah. But in the hands, it's like and even then I was rusty, but it was like
Yeah, no, you
it was
got
like
back into
it was like riding a
pretty
bike. It
darn
was
good.
like I was actually impressed myself. Like I was Florentine, no problem with somebody else's toys. Huh.
It's pretty amazing. I loved seeing the reaction of Ava when she was telling me the story and how much joy and happiness you brought into her world that
So
day.
good.
And how she knows me. Luckily for me that I was out, because she's like, if you were there, he would not do that, because my comfort is like, it's not something that I'm really. It's kind of hard for me to even understand that the person wants it. It's not something that I enjoy. So I'm glad that I wasn't there, but I heard from her and I saw her emotions and her feelings around it. And it was like, so brought me a lot of joy by living it through you and not actually seeing it.
Well, that's just the thing. If she was sitting there, there's no way I would have been able to let you go as far as you went. And you were great at checking in and making sure I was doing good, and which was much appreciated. But yeah, I think I let you go harder than I've ever gone before.
And I was being nice. That was the first time play for somebody.
Right.
Yes, and I've said this before, it was good to watch somebody else. Like, I don't mind watching scenes. I've watched scenes before, but watching Ava in a scene, I'd never done that. So that was a first for me. And, kind of watching you sight unseen, it's like, okay, this was good. And I definitely enjoyed sitting back just watching, and it wasn't also the first only for Ava, but there were other people that attended that you helped introduce into some experiences in BDSM. And one of the things that really actually stood out, and I have to say this, and sometimes you don't see it, and which is one of the reasons why I brought up things with high protocol or just certain things that happen in the BDSM world, was that as you were playing with a partner at the bottom, you really made it a choice that, hey, I am stuck to you until we say this scene ends. And that was particularly when you were dealing with rope.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Like, I'm stuck to you. My rope, you belong to me until it's off of you.
Yep. No, that's how it
And
should be.
it should be, but some people might take it and look at it as like, oh, look at me, I just tied you up, haha, you can't get out of this, and kind of not understand what's going on. And I say this because I've seen things where, yes, they're trying to be safe, but not really. You can see where they may be slipping out of like not really paying attention to things that are going on. And you made it, that's something that just automatically stood out to me. Like, you're like, hey, because I think somebody else was asking you, like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. And I think you wanted to go and do something else, but you were like, nope, my rope on that person, we're one unit, we're not doing anything else.
Is it a sense of responsibility for them? Is that what that driving factor was? Because you had tied them up, you felt like you were responsible to see them through that experience?
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's our scene. It's
Mhm.
I'm the one in control. I'm the dominant.
Mm-hmm.
When the rope's off of you, that's then the scene's over and you can have your fun. But until then, that's where my attention
Mm-hmm.
is.
That definitely brings all home in terms of that aspect of it, responsibility.
Oh yeah, I mean even when the scene's over, you have aftercare, you have checking in on people. Like
Yes.
Mhm.
it's a continuation of a process. It's not it's so you negotiate, you get everything good, you have your fun, you have your little dance, and then after you either it's just kind of like on the couch and a little cuddling, and oh you did good, and kind of letting them come back down because they're riding their endorphin high now.
Right.
Usually in subspace, so you want to make sure they're okay, and then you kind of slowly okay you're good, and like for me. I like aftercare, but only for so long. And then it's even me, like as a top, it's like I had such a moment of violence. Like sometimes I just like to be by myself, like, all right, let's calm ourselves back down and on to the
Mhm.
next one, And
Mhm.
then,
And I think different people need different amounts of aftercare. Like,
Yes,
I don't
definitely.
usually need a lot of aftercare. After that, I didn't need a lot of aftercare, but I felt like I was going to melt into the furniture because I was so relaxed and so whatever endorphins were running through my body. I was so chill afterwards. And I felt like I was just going to pass out and go to sleep because it was so good.
oh, that was from the flogging, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, that's kind of like a really nice deep tissue massage on top of
That's
it.
well, that's how I feel about flogging. Like for me, it's the best kind of massage I could ever get.
I was about to say, yeah, especially Florentine. That kind of has that nice rhythm to it.
Mm-hmm.
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 Definitely enjoyed watching that. You said that you build or you create toys or devices. What led you into that space to say, you know what, it's one thing for me to go online and look at somebody and just look somewhere and say, yeah, select one and let me get one of these. But you took it to like, hey, I want to build something myself. Where did that come from?
Well, I'll start off with this. It's that, you see it like the picture running around. It's like, oh, yeah, I can buy it for $9, or I can spend $150 in craft supplies and make it myself. Kind of came out of that. I won't lie. I'm a crafty. I like to work with my hands, and I'm like, oh, I can make something nice. Plus, I appreciate the art of leather making and everything. So I wanted to get into that. But also, it's just I was a poor kinkster starting out. Toys are like good quality toys are expensive. You're gonna drop 150 on a nice flogger, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about the amount of toy, like if I thought about how much money is in my toy bag, oh,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
happy I make my own toys for the most part. Especially like the one thing I'd say my standout in the kink world is the Japanese war fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like my fan work that's kind of feel like my little mark. So those I make myself. I designed a whole technique on that, and it all grew out of just I love making toys. Like right now, I'm making posture collars. Let's see, I think what was it? I've been playing around with like CBT tables, just kind of like, oh, well, I wonder how I can make this. Let's just go for it.
Yeah, just you're able to let your imagination run wild and say, let's see where it leads.
Oh, it's kind of what it is. Like if I see like I really want to get in making furniture. I'm a welder. I'm a woodworker, leather. Pretty much I work. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. I like to say.
Is there a certain pride you have in the customization of knowing you're making your own toys and using them?
Oh yeah. My toy bag matches amazingly. You saw my
Oh,
toy
I
bag
saw it.
on New
And
Year's
there's a
Eve.
couple of things in there that are very interesting. I
Mm.
saw the fans; those looked really cool. And then you had like this crocodile leather
Oh yeah, the
whip or
croctail.
something.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really cool too.
Yeah, that's
That
a
has
Papa Scott piece that I had from him.
that had a little bit of a sting to it.
Oh yeah, I love whips.
Yep.
Do you sell your products that you design?
Occasionally, I did a lot. Like a couple of years ago, I just kind of, since it was part of the hiatus, I didn't really kind of let the website go and everything. I'm kind of rebuilding stock back up, and then gonna get back out there and
So
start
when you
selling
do,
again.
let us know. We'll put you out there
Yeah,
into
I
the
mean,
world.
you can. I like say you reach out to me and like, oh hey, I like this piece. Right now, probably the closest you can get me is on FetLife, which is just Sinfully Sublime, which is pretty much kind of what I branded all my stuff. Just went for it with the Sublime. It kind of worked in the end.
We'll
But
attach that to our notes. And do you have a website that?
well, I just Instagram right now. I do
Mhm.
like I have the domain. I'm gonna start working on it in the next few months. It's just building it up and photos and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we're all about supporting our creative artists here. So yeah,
Yeah, I was about to say the best right now is pretty much FetLife and Instagram. You can kind of see what I've made over like at least I think I've been making toys for 10 years.
that's awesome. Yeah. So we really definitely want to get you out there so people who are interested can actually, reach out to you and say, hey, I like that. And then make it happen if you choose to get engaged.
Oh
in
yeah,
that
and
way.
no, the
Yeah.
goal is to get back out to like events and vending. I used to teach. I used to do a lot of stuff. It's just since the hiatus kind of took a little break. Now I'm coming back out and I'm hoping to get back out there and start teaching and vending and all that again.
It's
Uh,
interesting how life takes us in a journey of up and down and how we just have to embrace it and there's no rush for you or anybody to get anywhere, but it's the desire that drives you. So whatever the desire you have and whatever way you wanted to implement your energy, because what I've learned, I listened to one of the podcasts and they talk about the most commodity that we have is time. Time is so valuable. So how do you want to spend your time, right? Between everything that we have, how can we actually manipulate that time and make it something that we all like, want, and more of?
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, totally agree.
so you teach classes, you said. What is your favorite class to teach? If you had to pick one and say, like, this is the class that you love teach, you would teach it for free if you could every day.
I mean, it would be the Warfan one. Like, I mean, I have a background. When I was a kid, I've always done martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there was one I was at a martial art festival, and I came across like the Kung Fu fan. I bought like the VHS, and I learned how to do it. And when I first started out, I was like, all right, what do I have that would work as a toy? Everybody starts somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether they're their paracord flogger or you get your cheaper says like slut imprinted on it paddle. You know what I mean? Everybody starts somewhere with their toys, and one of those is I just had that fan from learning, and I was like, oh, I bet you this would make a good paddle. And then it just kind of evolved from there, and then I've learned how to use it, from pressure points to impact to sensation to it's a very well versed tool in my kit. I like to think.
Are your fans, because people are looking at different fans, are your fans uh heavier than say a normal one, or is it all are they
Well,
discernible from say a regular fan? Because
oh, not all fans are made the same. I mean, the ones I make I would call them like a fighting grade. Like they're made out of hardwoods. I use different fabrics for it. Like it took me probably 2 years how to build this fan. And now I use them in my own set, and I've been using them for 7 or 8 years easily, the set that I made, and they're holding up great.
Yeah, they're really cool. Like I
Mhm.
saw them.
How big are they?
Oh, they were much bigger than I expected them to be.
I
They've
think,
got
well,
to be
yeah, they're
a
about
few feet.
14 inches like the fan. So when you open it, it's about 28 fully open.
So you can use that as a spanking.
Oh yeah, spanking. Like when you hear the fans crack.
Mhm.
So it's kind of the same like a whip. And some people get really excited about a whip crack.
Wow.
I don't, so the fan has that same effect, and I have different ones. Like they're not all fans are made the same. Like I have a metal fan, and it cost me a decent chunk of change, and I had that one for a long time, and kind of yet again one of those made it into my toy kit, and then I ended up picking. I was like, oh, let me see if I want to try to sell these kinds, and I was trying to find that fan again because not all of them are the same. And like that one I picked up, it just like sharp edges, things like that that I feel are unsafe. So I like to pick out and choose, and that was one of those things. Mine, I like to say, I use mostly hardwoods and kind of keep them all exotic and fancy, but it's just it's an interesting toy. Like you can do so much with it compared to like, okay, I'm just flogging. You can get the sensations in different parts of the body, but a flogger's just a flogger at the end of the day. A paddle's still a paddle at the end of the day. This one I can bring you through a bunch of different feelings and sensations with just one toy in my bag.
Wow. So you've seen that somewhere first?
Oh no, I
Or you just
kind of
created-
made it up as I went. Like
That is pretty amazing. That's like I've never actually envisioned somebody's using that as a
It's really cool.
Well,
as
it's
a toy.
also, I've seen different articles or videos about, if you want to say, the poor man's impact tool kit. Go in your kitchen, get the OG impact tool for those of you who grew up in a different era. The good old wooden spoon.
oh yeah,
Okay, you can start out with that, or the
I was about to say you need a cane. The
cane
the window turner things.
Oh,
You can take that off
on
the
the
hook and that's it.
blinds.
on the blinds.
Yep, on the
Yes.
blinds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yes, so there's so many objects that can be used or turned into
Oh yeah.
toys or used for play. So, this is it's these fans, which we did speak about them, but I'm gonna have to definitely
Yes.
look into. Okay, Ava has spoken.
Yes.
So you have one order coming in. You're right.
I guess so. Yeah, at least one.
Yes. So what I found very interesting is we mentioned we were at a party together after our holiday rendezvous, and you had your bag of toys and things, and other people started looking at them and wanting to use them, and you were very clear with them that they were not to use them. Was it because you didn't want them doing something that they didn't know what they were doing with? Or was it that
Oh,
you
yeah,
just have
absolutely.
like great pride in your toolbox? What is it?
Well, no, I mean they're my toys, and
Mhm.
I treat them as a lot of money, and then people were kind of getting a little silly, I'll
Right.
say, with it.
Mhm.
Like it was getting out of control. I was like, okay, if you're not gonna use and control and just kind of throw things around, it's
Mm-hmm.
these are my toys, my investment.
Mhm.
And plus, yeah, you don't want to. If somebody doesn't know how to use a flogger, and you just without giving them an instruction,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like handing a little kid a knife, like go run, have fun.
Right, yep.
It's just not a good idea in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, running with scissors is not good.
I like that aspect of from the beginning of our interview to now, how you always stress education, knowledge behind it, and safety. This is so important for being into BDSM and kink community. For me, I mean, I don't know much about it. I'm learning as I grow, but that's so wonderful to hear over and over again as an aspect of like necessity.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. That's kind of how I like to do things. Like let's have good. The saying is, don't break your toys.
Oh, I
Can
like
me
that.
can mean my toy bag, but also my playmate's my toy, and I don't want to break my toy.
Oh my God, I
Mhm.
love that. I
No,
never heard
you
of
don't.
that
Them to
before.
come back for more
Exactly. You want,
Yeah.
Again.
if it wants more. If it does want more, by the way. But anyway,
It's interesting. Wait, I have a revelation, which is funny because you always say Eva wants more, and how you always, not always, but sometimes talking about the BDSM and kink, whatever, and how interesting aspect of me, I love intercourse, right? So it's like for me, keep going, don't stop. Even when I cannot breathe, I'm like about to pass out. Keep going. Do not look at my gestures and whatever my body does. My mind wants more. So it's just like I just realized that it's like so similar
it is similar.
to being spanked. Like I'm being spanked by a dick. It's fucking
It's
amazing.
the pleasure we're getting, right? And
Yeah.
the endorphins and hormones that are running through our body is at that time. Like, that's a great feeling.
Yeah.
Right?
And so it's a wave for me. Like I go up and down.
yeah, sure.
And when I go down, you don't need to come down with me. You can just go up. You can still
Bring me
be on
back
top.
up.
Yeah, you can still be on top. And for me, I'll come back up when I'm ready.
Mhm.
And that's like, it's so amazing to just finally
Ride the wave.
put it together where we always say, "Oh, I'm not doing BDSM and kink or whatever." We all have shit that we
Of
are not
course.
really realizing what
Of
we do.
course. I do have a question we were discussing actually before you got here, and it was safety. And, we talk about, okay, you negotiate a scene, everybody's aware of what's going into it. Do you ever worry about somebody at the end of it, like freaking out and being like, oh my God, that's not what I wanted? You went too far. Do you ever have that concern?
I mean, always, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you try your best not to have that happen, but that's where the aftercare comes, conversations. You check in with somebody usually the day after, especially like after something really more intense of a scene, I would
Yep.
say. You want to make sure everything's good. How's the sub drop coming? Because that, once the endorphins leave, you get into the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That
But
gentle stinging and warmth that you felt now might turn into throbbing pain.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
What?
Was that your experience?
Oh, is that my experience? No, it was still stinging and warm, and it did not turn into throbbing pain.
No, and it was a good thing that it did not.
And I was surrounded by plenty of people who would have been able to be there the next day to deal with it too. I needed additional care.
I mean, I'll say at the end of the day, things do happen, but also as a top, like kind of getting into safety, how do you address if something goes wrong?
Yeah.
Like I've had suspensions, especially in the beginning, there were certain things, oh, it looks pretty, I'm going to do it this way. And really in the end, like my line would lock and it's like, okay, crap. I can't let somebody know that this is happening here, So how can I do this, keep everybody safe so nobody panics and kind of alleviate the situation? Luckily, I've never like tied somebody and given them nerve damage or anything like that. I tend to stay away from the areas like that. The real pretty stuff that, it can happen. But like I said, if you have at least a plan if something does go wrong, and that's kind of the mark of a good top. It's not somebody that's like, oh God, something went bad. Oh, they're bleeding. And then
No
they
panicking.
lose it.
No panicking.
Yeah, exactly. You don't panic. You keep with that. And it kind of falls into the safety and education is know your toys, know your bottom, know the scene. If you're going to experiment, yeah, that's okay. But always have a plan B. Okay, this went wrong. How do I fix it? How do I take care of it?
Yeah, and I think I've had only one time that I had shibari done on my leg when we were away in Mexico, and it was an amazing experience. It was an hour and a half of beautiful creative arts, I would say, exploration. He did not touch me, but I orgasmed afterwards for like 6 to 8 hours because,
Nice.
he just tied up on the end. He tied up the rope. He made a knot, and he just dragged that all over my body, where my clit and my breast. And there was a point when I was like, I really wanted more. My mind wanted more. And he saw that my clit could not take it anymore. He's like, if I'm going to continue doing that, I'm going to rip your clit out. And
No more.
Oh, I love
like,
a good sensual scene.
I was like, holy shit. And then afterwards, he asked hubby to untie me. And that he knows some of it. And it was an amazing experience because he took his time, and the guy who did it on me, he complimented him afterwards because he took like half an hour to untying me. And that was such an amazing feeling for me to share with him. So that was amazing in terms of that.
It's not like you're opening up a birthday present where you're ripping off all the paper type of thing afterwards. The amount of time that it took for him to create that tie, I'm not going to take an hour and a half, but taking the amount of time of letting that rope come off her was necessary.
You respected what he did.
Yes.
And you saw the art in it.
Oh no, I mean that's the most important part is the untying. Really, you got to think. And when you're in a rope scene, it's an exchange of energies. Usually like mine, like I guess would be class number 2 is I like to teach sensual rope. Like that's hands down one of my favorite things to do. And it's a lot of that. It's using the rope as, friction and kind of use it. You can open it up and kind of like do little nipple pinchers and you can whip them with it. You can have a lot of fun with sensual rope and give them, yet again, like the fan, you can give them a lot of sensations. And when I was, traveling for work, I ended up going to a bondage club in Japan. And I watched this guy, his name was Bingo at the Club Ubu. And I was watching him put somebody up, and it was like, okay, you're watching because it takes a lot to get him in and make sure everything's tied and set right. They had him up there, probably had him up there for like 20 minutes or so. Like, he's legendary, this guy. This was his club too. And then I picked up little things, which was amazing, like little how to, so your rope doesn't get stuck. I was like, oh, that lock, that's amazing. But the one thing I probably took out of that whole scene when I watched that one was the untying and how releasing that energy, because you're building energy the whole time and it's getting like, this is hot and heavy and awesome. So when you undo, it's just as important as when you started tying them. It's that proper release of the energy and kind of, okay, we're done here, or we're going to move into the next thing. But it's definitely, I feel it's actually the most important part is that untying. It's kind of releasing the person, like, you're free again, have fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
So anybody who decides that they want to get into BDSM, or as I say, we probably all are into it in some degree, but we just don't realize. But when they want to explore more or take a deeper dive, what would be a good resource for them to go about doing that?
Well, I mean, it really depends on like what you're into. Like, if you're getting into rope, like from when I started to nowadays, oh, what a difference. I had books. Like when I taught myself how to suspend, it was Douglas Kent's Air. And that was the book. And I had to figure out, okay, this is this. And that's why I kind of did myself. It was like, okay, no, that cinches, that pinches. That's not fun. Um, I always say books, it's forever. A tablet can die, but your book's always going to stay good. Like if you want to get in Jay Weissman, BDSM 101. That was probably one of my first books I read, and it gets into safety and all that. He has a bondage book, which is good. If you want to go further, there's like you're getting into rope, shibari study. Like I wish I had that when I first started. Ooh, I would have been so excited. You pay a membership, but they like break down the ties, and you can get real good, real fast if you focus on it. Another one is just FetLife.
Okay.
Like for me, I mean, there's so many groups, and you can talk to people and interact with people, or just get out to a munch, get to your local community, meet your kink elders and learn from them, stuff like that. That's, I'd say, probably hands down getting out into your community. But if you can't, then books, FetLife, getting in the groups, and okay, I'm interested in this, and you can talk to people and meet people. That'd probably be my biggest recommendation.
I have a coming theme that it's following me now. I feel like anybody who is having any kind of craft that they really enjoy, they had to learn through whatever aspects they love. And I think I see you as a nerd that loves like dig in and dive in deep and then evolve in the way that you are, like spreading your wings and just like fly.
I mean, you nailed it. Yeah, it's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, but in the beginning, you don't just like a bird, like you don't know. You just don't know how the wind is gonna go, or the whatever it is that the aspects of nature come to flying. You have to experiment and you have to learn the techniques, and that comes from doing it over and over and over again, and starting with yourself first, because safety is a priority. So then you're opening up your wings and you're like, and I've seen that with you also, my beautiful husband. I love that aspect of nerdiness and just like really diving in and not being, look at me. I don't see that in any shape or form with any of the people that I'm around right now. It's all about, I want to give you pleasure, and it's nothing about me. And that whatever it is, you can give it to me later. I'll take it. But right now, the center is you. And I love that about you guys. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I do it, for me, it's more, I come from the school of thought, you get what you put out there. And sometimes you end up getting more than you put out. But I don't put out necessarily I don't put out for the purpose of I'm going to get something back. I put out because it's what I can give and what I want to give. Now, there are times when I receive much more than I give out, and I'm enjoy it, and I look forward to it. But I don't put out anything that I don't want to. Um, well, I should do my best not to put out what I can't afford to give of myself.
That is so appealing. It's so hot. My pussy is vibrating right now.
Mine too.
And wow, we thank you all for coming and listening to this exciting. No. We have self-control here. Thank you for the compliment.
You're welcome.
I definitely appreciate it. And it's always good to hear from your partners, whoever they are, that it's one of the love languages. It's, words of affirmations, or showing the people that you're with that you appreciate them, however you choose to do that. So that was definitely appreciated. Thank you.
You're welcome. My beautiful nerds.
Well, speaking of nerds, it sparked something else now. In the BDSM world, besides all of the obvious, the whips and chains and ropes and bats and doodads and whatnots, there is a significant mental aspect that goes along with it. Some of the people that a lot of people who are in the kink world are very cerebral. They think things out. But there's also a psychology behind everything, behind the behavior. You're a top, or you're a bottom, or you're dominant because there's just something going on. Like, how have you, in your time in BDSM, thought about the psychology behind a lot of the behaviors or actions, or just the whole thing, particularly power dynamics? Because that is a very huge portion of it. There's always power dynamics going on.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the whole kind of aspect of it. Um, yeah, I mean I'm not the most popular opinion in this club. Um, I'm not one of those submissions a gift people.
Mm-hmm.
So submission can't be a gift, just because then it's me saying I could be like me topping is a gift. But when you give something, do you expect to take that gift back ever?
No.
Exactly, you don't. So it's an exchange. So you're bringing your best to the table. I'm bringing my best to the table. Now, as an S type, you have your own world you got to, get into and understand. But me as a top, getting into, you got to nerd out. You have to invest in your toys. You have to become good with your toys. I'm putting just as much energy into this as you are. So it's an exchange. Like I said, I like to feel it's more like a dance. Both of us, we have our leads, we have our parts. Yet again, like dancing, there's, kind of the leader and the follower of the dance. Same thing with kink. So that's why I stay away from ever being like, oh, my submission's a gift. No, it's really not. Unless you're planning on never taking it back and I have it forever, which is awesome. But let's be real, dynamics, they come and go. Things happen. It's life, relationships, just like, any kind of relationship in the world. You get, you can be stuck with that. Kind of losing my thought on that one.
Okay.
No. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I got back on it. It's first time on the podcast kind of thing for me. So it messes me up.
You're
here in the
doing good.
headphones.
You're
You're doing good.
I try. I know I've kind of strayed off a few times, but to say more or less like we're both bringing it. We're both having that. And that's where the power dynamics, because, like me and you, it seems like you're kind of like me in the no ego club.
No ego.
Like,
No.
Totally.
Like I like doing that, but you'll have your doms, like the masters, and they're in the MS, and they're very like, this is how it is. This is strict. We're not going, we're not deviating from this, and it's definitely the high protocol rules. That's a lot of work. That stuff. Like I said, I'm a lazy top.
That ego part is, it is how. But I feed my ego, but I know enough. I realize that I have an ego, and when I will see a bottom or a partner, they will enjoy, or sometimes just be in a pile of mush afterwards. Like, that feeds my ego.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
I look at what I did to you, And I just need a small bite of that. And then the rest of my life, like I put my ego away just because of that
Yeah,
one.
you got fed. Everybody
I
got
got
fed. in
fed,
the
yeah.
end.
That, the scene might have been, 20 minutes, a half hour, but I see what happened afterwards. I'm good for a while. I'm like, I don't need my ego. Like, oh, you don't think I'm the best person at my job or something? Okay, that's fine. I don't need because
Validation.
I don't need the validation there. I got my validation
Yeah, elsewhere.
elsewhere, and I know where I can get it. I don't need to get it somewhere else.
Whenever you need your ego fed, you know where to need to go.
I know.
I am right here for you.
Thank you very
I
much.
do
Ava.
want to talk about the outfits.
Oh,
Outfits.
Yeah. The dress code that he showed up in.
So, something else that it does make kind of sense. So, you had a kilt on
Oh yeah,
when we
love my
saw
kilts.
you, and
Guess who bought a kilt?
I ended
Oh,
up.
you're in the kilt
Yeah.
club now. Nice.
I do, and it's just like it was just. I'm like, this actually makes sense.
It does.
It makes
It
so
looks
much.
so
Oh, yeah.
hot.
It makes
does.
so much sense as opposed to even, and I would take it over into like thinking of like a sex positive party of, okay, you're there and you're walking around with a towel and it's like, okay, you're trying to get that towel to stay. Like, no,
Kilt it.
I have a kilt. Like
Oh yeah, it was
Simple.
nice. It's easy. Comes on, comes off.
off
You
and
know,
on, and
Yep.
it's just,
and
And you look
nobody really questions.
beautiful.
It's like, say you want to go outside for a minute. It's not like, oh,
you can't
stand
go
out there
outside
in
with
a
a
towel.
towel.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can
Kilt,
stand out.
everybody's like, oh, they're a kilt person.
Oh.
They're a little off kiltered. I get.
Yeah. But I love that. And it's so now we actually have an idea what we're going to have an event that the men have to show up with their own kilts. So thank you so much for the
All right,
inspiration.
nice.
And
Mhm.
we'll
Yeah.
invite you as well, to show off your beautiful Mary Poppins bag.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with your
you're-
different toys. That's what I call it. Because when he first started it, he was carrying it like a small bag over his shoulder, and now it turned into a carry-on luggage. So it grew.
Oh yeah. No, I have like a carry on for just my rope, and then I have a gun case because it's actually it's a soft pad, kind of rectangle. But it's actually the best for like my whips and everything and how they sit. So yeah, when I go into a club, I have like 2 bags. I'm sitting there looking like I'm ready to move in.
Do you have any recommendation for people? Like, I don't know where I heard it, but in terms of, we talked to Dragonfly for best bags for toys that, you use and whatever in terms of traveling.
I mean, traveling like what? Just like in your car traveling or like
No,
airport travel?
Airport travel.
I've actually never done that, but I've sent like rope. I brought some stuff and I just put it in my checked luggage.
Okay, yeah. So
All right,
because some people are very.
I'm not
like,
bringing it on the carry on or anything. They might be like, all right, you can't bring this far.
No.
Or, but I've just checked stuff and I just kind of, it's whatever I was bringing with me.
Got it. I thought maybe a little more.
No, I mean, if I would, it depends. If you're flying, I would probably just put it in like a hard shell,
Mhm.
suitcase, like the smaller mid-size. Depends on how big your toy bag is, really.
Right.
All right.
There's no way to learn if you don't ask questions.
True.
Yes, there's no such thing as you don't want to say there's no such thing as a dumb question. The reason why somebody's asking a question is because they don't know and they don't understand something. So hopefully they're looking for clarification for whatever it is. But I definitely want to thank you, Sir Sublime, for giving us your time.
I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you.
There's probably so many other questions that we could ask or different topics to go into. And hopefully sometime in the future we can sit down, regardless of whether it is on a podcast or not, and just talk about it and discuss it. But I want to ask, is there any thing else that you want to mention to our audience? Maybe you're just go over again your social media where people, if they're interested because they heard you on this podcast, they can reach out to you if you want to share that with anybody.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'll start off with the one. It's keep them wanting more, like suspension, right?
Yeah.
Can't give everything off at the right at the first time. I don't have no use anymore. Yeah, like I said, if you wanted to reach out, for me personally, I'm just you'll find me on FetLife, which is Sir Sublime, and it's just one word. My toy company, if you're interested in seeing some of my creations, that's just Sinfully Sublime. And then same thing on Instagram, or I think it's Sinfully Sublime Toys on Instagram.
Okay.
We'll have that in the show notes.
Yes, we'll have all of that information there. So definitely, once again, want to thank you for giving us your time. We appreciate it. Look forward to hanging with you.
Literally and figuratively. Help.
I knew I set that one up for you.
Thank you. Received.
You're
I took it,
welcome.
And I ran with it.
Yes. So on behalf of all of us here at Three Shades Deeper, we want to thank you for speaking with us, and we will talk to everybody next month. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
See you soon.